welcome back from that short break and thank you for staying with us. Now, before we begin, let me welcome our co-panelists on the program who has also joined us. The Chairman, Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, Benue State Branch, and a medical practitioner, Dr. Paul Abba, has also joined us in the studio. Good morning, Dr. Abba, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning, sir.
All right, let me begin with you, Moses Ikwe, the Chief Regulatory Officer of NAFDAC. Tell us what is happening concerning the ripening of fruits with chemicals over time in the country. This is not the first time attention is being drawn to this subject matter.
Yeah. Ripening of fruits with chemicals is one of the biggest challenges as regards fruit, not just in the country, but the entire world. But if you look back into our olden days chemistry, during our secondary school level, we were taught and we got to understand that some of the chemicals, some of the gas that are generated from these chemicals can be used to ripe fruit. But that was knowledge in those days. Actually, it was applied. But as time goes on, we get to know that these things have health implications. For example, like using calcium carbide. Calcium carbide, when you drop water on calcium carbide, it generates a gas called acetylene. It is this acetylene gas that is used to ripen fruit. And beside the acetylene gas that is generated from calcium carbide, you also have other impurities from calcium carbide, including, heavy metals. One of it is a metalloid called arsenic. This metalloid is seen to be carcinogenic when consumed, not just as arsenic. You also have phosphorus. Phosphorus is a member of group 15 on the periodic table, and it's also part of calcium carbide, and it also have health implications. So by implication, if you pour your calcium carbide on any fruit, it's not just the arsenic, it's not just the gas that ripens the fruit that is on the fruit, but other chemicals, other substances like the arsenic metal and the phosphorus is introduced onto the fruit. And when consumed, it goes into the system, and this can go a long way in causing so many ailments to the body.
All right, so this has been an issue. What is the situation in Benue State, particularly concerning NAFDAC sensitization of the public on this subject?
Actually, we've been to, like here in Makudi, we've been to the fruit market at the railway station on several occasions to sensitize the people on the danger that is associated with consuming fruits that are ripened by calcium carbide and other chemicals. But Africans, when you ripe fruits with chemicals, it extends the shelf life of the fruit. It also eases the transportation of the fruit. Like you buy mango here in Benue, and you are taking it to most probably Abuja or Kaduna or Kano. You discover that by the time you get to Kano or Abuja, the fruits that is ripening here might get spoiled. But when you ripen it with chemicals, it triggers the ease in transporting it. You get it to your destination without it getting bad. But at that, you also have the health implication, which is the issue of most concern to humanity, more than the transport issues and the shelf life issue.
Now, Dr. Sengev, you are an expert in food science and technology. Tell us, is the practice of ripening fruits with chemicals a healthy one from your point of view as an expert?
No. It's not a healthy development completely, but somehow ripening of fruits with chemicals has some advantages. Because calcium carbide is just one of the ripening agents. There are also other ripening agents like the ethylene glycol. You also have acetylene, as he mentioned, my colleague here mentioned. You also, of course, ethylene is naturally produced by these fruits. And when you want to look at fruits from the perspective of ripening, they are categorized into two. You have fruits that are known as climacteric fruits, and you have fruits that are known as non-climacteric fruits. The climacteric fruits are fruits like pawpaw, mango, tomatoes, and so on. Then these fruits get ripened after harvest. And after you harvest them, ripening can still go on naturally. Therefore, the advantage of applying this chemical ripening agents is that when you are looking at climacteric fruits, considering the distance of transportation, they are harvested pre-ripe, then transported to those destinations, depending on the distance. So if they are not harvested pre-ripe, it then means this issue of getting spoilage on the way is there. Therefore, exporters, wholesalers, and retailers, they now use some of these chemicals to delay the production of ethylene by these fruits, so that they now get them ripe. In fact, there is a compound that is called 1-MCP, that is 1-methylcyclopropene. It can block the synthesis of ethylene, so that can be used. So, and because this thing, the fear of economic losses, the handlers of these fruits use these chemicals so that they can create one eye appeal, isn't it, to consumers. Because fruits that are chemically ripened, if you look at them, they create good eye appeal to the consumers. So some of them are harmful, particularly the ethylene from calcium carbide. In fact, if you look at that, it has a lot of health issues. But when you look at other chemicals like etyphone, which is also one of the ripening agents, there is no known report of toxicity when it is used within the prescribed limit or concentration of 1 part per million or 50 part per million. Then you are safe. So consumers, the handlers of these fruits can make do with this kind of chemical, that etyphone, at least to ripen their fruits.
All right. I'm still with you. Growing up as a young boy, we were often told that until it rains, that fruits are ripened, especially fruits like mangoes, and even bananas. But nowadays, you hardly get the rains, but you see many of these ripened fruits with attractive appeal in the market. Do you posit that these are chemically ripened?
Yes, you can't rule out the possibility of applying these chemicals. That is why it is advisable that when you want to patronize fruits, you start around April. That is, I want to agree with you that I also heard of that, isn't it?
All right.
So I want to agree with you that in those days they say until the rain falls on the fruit, you don't eat it. So there was this practice. But again, if you remember, in those days, I do remember that my mother would pluck either pawpaw and keep in the pot, cover it, that is to raise the temperature and induce the production of ethylene for ripening. Sometimes they use ash, which is very high in calcium, to also ripen this thing. So, yes, we can't rule out the sharp practices, the handlers of these fruits. So in fact, these days, the way the fruit I see in the market these days, there are some species of mangoes that I see that the eye appeal is just perfect. So I begin to wonder. I'm telling you, I'm beginning to wonder, because for a fruit to ripen naturally, like mango, for instance, at the shoulder, it starts ripening at the shoulder, isn't it? That is where you have more of the mesocarp. And where you have more of the mesocarp, you also have production of ethylene more where there is the mesocarp is. So that is why they start ripening at the shoulder down to the tip. So a naturally ripened fruit like mango, you will see some green patches on it. But these days, what we see, the eye appeal is just is too perfect.
All right. Now, Dr. Abba, from your
Yes, sir.
point of view as a medical expert, speak to us on the health implications of these chemically ripened fruits.
Thank you very much. First of all, we need to get to know the importance of fruits. Fruits are very, very useful for our body. Boosts our immunity so that we can live strong and healthy. It also assists our heart to function very well. Eye health, skin health, all kind of good things that fruits do in our body. And this is because they contain some nutritional contents that make available all these vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin K, and other ones, and other minerals like that are useful for healthy living. And these things are there at specific quantities. The quantities that are there, very, very important. Where you now use chemicals to quicken the ripening of these fruits, these components, the vitamins, they are very, very labile. They get destroyed very easily. When they come in contact with these chemicals that are used to ripen the fruits, they are destroyed. And what you are eating now in the fruit is just fiber. It's just fibers, which will only help bowel movement, So the vitamins are gone, the minerals, trace elements are gone. And then you have only the fiber, you have the flesh to consume. And probably the carbohydrate content also will still be there, which you consume. And when you consume it in that form, the work that these fruits are supposed to do in your body are no longer done. So you will think you'll be so confident that you are consuming fruit. So your sight to be good, your heart to be working well, and all that. But you don't know that what should assist those organs to function well have been destroyed from the fruits by the quick ripening through these agents. And even the ethylene glycol, and all these things that are natural present in the fruit, they are there at specific quantity. God has put them in specific quantity. By the time you now increase it, it becomes harmful. It becomes harmful, it becomes toxic, and then you see yourself coming down instead of vitality that you should experience. You're coming down. And then these chemicals too, they accumulate in the body. No matter how minute the quantity you consume per time, they accumulate. And when they have reached certain level, they can cause cancer. You see cancer. You see people coming down with cancer all over the place these days. It was not so at the beginning. In the early days when our parents, used fruits, you just plug it off the tree and consume immediately. Sometimes without washing. You just on the farm, when you are farming, you are hungry, go and plug mango, go and plug oranges, and you consume. You get energy, you continue with your work. I think our problem is greed. We want to make quick money, and we want to make it now. If not, what is wrong in gathering all your fruits and then pouring ash on them or covering them with leaves and waiting for the right time for it to ripe? When it's done like that, all the components are preserved and you eat it satisfactorily and to do its work. But because we want to get money now, we go through all this, applying chemicals, applying all kind of things so that it will ripen quickly. We take it to the market, make the money and come back. What are we doing with the money? Sometimes we will spend this money on our health that we have acquired through the consumption of these bad fruits. And so what is the gain? We have not made any gain. You made some money, you spent the same money on your health. Even more than you made, you spent it. So I want to appeal to the public, I want to appeal to the traders in these fruits that we should exercise some patience. Nature has put in place everything that crops or fruits need to ripen. Allow it to happen naturally. If you want to hasten it a little, cover it with leaves, put it inside an enclosure, pour some ash, and it will ripen. But let's please avoid the use of chemicals, especially this carbide. Let's avoid it. It's not only in fruits again now. We are even hearing that they are using it for akpu. They are using jik and all kind of things for akpu too, to help it to rise, so that it will be. Yes. So these days we consume a lot of chemicals, dangerous chemicals. Dangerous chemicals, and it's not. That's why the life, our life is shortening. Our life is shortening. You see somebody. In the olden days, we celebrate our parents' death at 102, 90, 120. But these days, you hardly see people who are up to 100 years and are still alive. And even if they are alive, they'll be down with debilitating diseases. It's all these things that we consume. We have put aside natural food. We are rushing for fast foods. We are rushing for fast fruits. Fruit juices. These fruit juices that we see all over the market, the kind of preservative that they use to keep them. If you know, you'll be surprised. My expert, the food scientist, was talking about some mangoes. Yesterday I was returning from Utukpa, and I stopped over at Alede to buy some mangoes. When I have never seen some of those mangoes before. They call them mommy species, and there's another one called daddy. You see them so big, I don't even, so glossy. The color alone attracts you. And I was I was so attracted, I bought plenty of it. When I got home, my wife also, when she saw them, she was very happy. She quickly washed them.
After all, it was mommy and daddy.
Yeah, so I didn't see daddy to buy. I bought only the mommy. When she sliced them for us and we ate, because of the journey, I was tired. I took some nap. When I woke up again, my tummy started giving me fruits. And we will live longer and healthier. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, it will appear as if maybe it's because of your experience that you were chosen for the program, but
I didn't even know.
we're here, we are talking about an issue and you are testifying to what you experienced.
Honestly.
Anyway, we hope...
First-hand experience.
Yeah. It's okay. Now, Mr. Ikpe, let me also bring in a personal experience here, then I'll tie it to the question. Sometime, a few years ago, I was in Abuja, and at a restaurant, I was served akpu. And as akpu, naturally, we locally amongst us here, there's some form of a little smell.
Aroma, yes.
The akpu was pure,
Odorless.
immaculate one.
Very clean.
Very clean,
Odorless.
but with no sense of any
Smell
odor or any
again.
small thing like akpu. I was really wondering, here in Abuja, in the heart of state in the heart of the federal capital territory, and this kind of akpu, where could it have been produced? Listening to Dr. Abba, he also stated the issue of fermentation process, where people use jig, bleaching agents, and this kind of stuff. We even hear hypo. Tying this to the issue of ripening fruits with chemicals that we are discussing, are there laws regulating the use of chemicals in food preservation as well as ripening of fruits that NAFDAC is enforcing?
For now, particularly, there are no laws backing it. Why do I say there are no laws backing it? If you look at the allegations, most of them are based on processed food. And in processed food, any food that is processed, the details, the informations of the food is a law that must be wrapped around it. That's why you go to market, you see your sachet water with details of when it was produced, when is it going to expire, the batch number, and the rest of other informations. They are very, very key. These are some of the informations that we use in NAFDAC to regulate this product called regulated products. It's the same thing with drugs. There is no drugs in a pharmacy that you will see it without informations on it. The address of the producer must be there and every other details. There are some that it's a law that they go beyond to specify the purpose of such a product. Like you have some selected food for diabetic patients, that kind of a thing. Those ones too have to be specific. The producer of such foods will have to, put it on the label to show to the populace that this food is only meant for diabetic patients. So with these informations, it aids us to regulate them. But this food, particularly that are posing challenges onto the society today that we are considering today, have no such details. You can't differentiate between a fruit that is ripened by chemicals and those that are not ripened by chemicals by way of information. They are not there. They are not there. The same thing, akpu. You can't go to the market and differentiate between akpu that is fermented with chemicals and those that are not fermented with chemicals. The only thing that could aid you to maybe have little information about them is that smell that we considered initially, that kind of a thing. So it makes it very, very difficult. So what we do in NAFDAC is to appeal to people producing this food. Please help the society. Please help the society. The only another way that we can identify such food or differentiate them is by way of analysis, by way of chemical analysis in the laboratory. When you pick You send it to the lab for analysis, and the report is released, and you read from the report that this one contains so chemicals, this one do not contain. That is where you can put the two together and try to differentiate them. Or by way of labeling, it becomes very, very difficult. So all this while, what we do as regard, food product like palm oil that is sold in the market, it's one of the challenges to, just like we are considering akpu and fruits. The same thing palm oil also have. You look at some of them, you pick a bottle of palm oil that is on the shelf in the market for sale, you see different
particles.
Partitions.
Okay.
You see different partitions. One partition will look yellowish, the other one will look maybe reddish, another one will look, different colors like that.
True.
That is to show you that such palm oil is being adulterated. And these are just facts. But you discover that people who are out there do not know some of these things. For sometimes, there are some short videos online to a kind of differentiate between palm oil that is adulterated and those that is not adulterated, to demonstrate it to the public. But very unfortunately, it's not everybody that have access to social media to have access the information that is there for them to have knowledge of what they are consuming. There are particularly people who are living in villages. Whatever they see, that is what they take. It's very unfortunate. But just like my colleague here, Dr. Abba, have said earlier, the appeal he has made to the public is just an appeal. In those days when we were growing up, I remember particularly a Benue man producing a food that is going to sell to the public will be very, very careful why he didn't want to give the public something that is bad. But today, it's a different ballgame and different dimension altogether. I was shocked. The experience he had last week, I was in the office. I didn't eat for like almost 2 hours. So I sent one of our cleaners, please go out there and get me food. He went there, and the only food he could get, I never wanted to take akpu, but the only thing he could get was akpu. He had no choice. He brought it to me, and out of hunger, I ate it. The experience I had when I got home was so terrible. In fact, I started purging. I went to the toilet almost 3-4 times that day. Why? Because of these chemicals. Because of these chemicals. Please, the society, we are helping to kill ourselves. This is wrong practices. We need to stop this thing. We need to stop it. It's not encouraging at all. I don't think one will be happy. Assuming you produce it for people outside there, because somebody was telling me that most of them that are into such practices, they'll tell you, no, we are not the one. Our family members are not the one eating it. But what about other people who are outside there that are going to buy? You need money. The people there need to eat food that can nourish their body. You are not looking at what will help them, but you are looking at just what will help yourself. It's wrong. It's wrong. We need to stop this. Thank God, today, Agave Radio have given us this opportunity on radio. I'm sure so many of you are out there listening to us. Maybe the sensitization tour we have carried out in markets like North Bank, Urukum, and the rest of them is not enough. Why? Because it's only people at that spot that will listen to us. But with this radio station, I'm sure so many people, so many of you are out there listening to us. Please and please and please, if you are in such practice, I beg of you, in the name of God, please desist from that practice. Thank you.
Very well. Now, Dr. Sengiv, are there any differences in the quality of naturally ripened fruits and those that are chemically ripened?
Yes, there are differences. And in my earlier presentation,
Yes.
I did say that a fruit that is ripened naturally, you will see some green patches on it, isn't it? Now, it will not look glossy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Though it will look attractive.
Yes.
And the texture of the fruit again is the issue. Because there are some fruits that when you buy, you discover that it does not have a smooth texture, you have lumps There are some mangoes you have lumps. Though this may come
When
as a
you
result
cut
of
them, you
yes,
see whitish
yes.
aspects inside.
Yes, some of this may come as a result of, let's say, maybe during harvest, maybe the impact on the ground could also cause that. But another one is when you take a bite, though the fruit will appear yellowish like mango, but sour inside. That is to tell you that the fruit was not matured before harvest. But these agents, ripening agents, were used to change, to cause the degradation of the chlorophyll and synthesis of carotenoid and anthocyanins to give you that color. But when you take a bite, you discover that it's sour.
So,
And ordinarily, you are not supposed to have that kind of experience. Because when a fruit matures, there are some biochemical changes that take place. The breakdown of the polysaccharides, which are the carbohydrates, into simple sugars.
yes, sucrose.
Glucose, fructose, sucrose, that will give you a sweet taste.
Yes.
So you know that, yes, this fruit was ripe. So sometimes, like bananas, when you look at a banana that is ripe naturally, of course, if you look at the finger, the banana, you have a uniform circumference, a round circumference, lengthwise. And you discover that the stalk is not greenish. The ones that are chemically ripened, it does not affect the
Extends
stalk.
to the stalk.
The stalk is greenish.
Okay.
Yes, but this other one that ripes naturally, it turns brown when it finally ripes.
That's true.
So we need to use our
knowledge.
senses, at least for now, to be able to
Differentiate.
differentiate this fruit. So when you look at the fruit that is so attractive, so glossy, then you should begin to suspect that what could have happened to produce this kind of very attractive fruits. So as my colleague here has made an appeal, you need righteous people to raise a righteous nation.
Yeah.
There are certain things that the law cannot handle, but our consciences can handle.
True.
And in developed countries, people consider those countries their country. And they are righteous, that is, they are morally upright. So when they want to produce a food, yes, you need money, but the person consuming the food needs it for nutrition and health, isn't it? So the people who are handling this should take it that they are killing the public. And that is not good enough. You can see our life expectancy now.
So
It's around 50 or thereabouts. See people dying anyhow. It's because we are very far from nature. We don't take natural foods again.
at all.
And nature was not stupid by giving us the opportunity to use this natural product. So today, okay, like in those days, if a woman comes back from the farm, she will use this raw ginger, just grind it, put okpehe, then you eat. This ginger has a lot of antioxidants,
Yes, it does.
which mop up the free radicals in the body. And the free radicals, they cause problems in the body. So this ginger mops them up. That is why you see our people in those days, they live longer, because they were close to nature. Today, every woman fries the ingredients for soup. If they don't fry it, it then means
taste.
nobody eats it. Must you fry everything? There is this, the family of this garden egg, this called nyako.
Yes.
Nyako. When you eat that raw nyako, it takes care of the liver.
That
You see,
bitter one
and our
is
people
bitter.
used to eat it in those days. They eat with roasted yam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, you hear cases of hepatitis everywhere
Mm.
because we are very far from nature. So, in as much as the exporters, the wholesalers, the retailers who want to make profit, because, as I said earlier, they harvest these fruits, particularly the climacteric fruits. And the non-climacteric, let me say this, those ones, once you harvest them from the tree, they don't undergo ripening again. Just like pineapple, you have blackberries and all that, cucumber.
Mm.
So they are allowed to ripen on the tree before they are harvested, like oranges as well. So, but because they want to make money, so they harvest this thing pre-ripe, and they want to meet the demand in the market. So they decide to apply all the sorts of chemicals. And in fact, that calcium carbide is not good at all. If you look at the health issues associated with that calcium carbide, is something you can't try. And unfortunately, that is the chemical that is most available in the market,
Very cheap.
because that is what these welders they use
Mm.
to generate this acetylene. And yes, they
Gas.
generate acetylene, which is also known as ethine.
All right. Now, Dr. Abba,
Yes, sir.
in the course of my researching for this program, I came up across the disturbing information that these chemically ripened fruits are also a source of concern for the heart. In fact, one of the reports said it causes a heart failure. Is it true?
Yes, it is true. Like I was saying before, fruits protect the heart. They also have antioxidants that deal with the free radicals that will cause various diseases like cancer. So if the chemicals put in them have destroyed these active ingredients that will help to protect the different organs of the body, then they are vulnerable. The organs become vulnerable. And also some of these gases too, like the carbide we're talking about now, it produces gases. These gases go to affect the heart. And when it affects it will destroy the heart. It will also either block the heart valves so that blood flow to the heart will be reduced, and that is what will lead to heart failure. Some chemical reactions, it comes in contact with the blood. The main function of the heart is that it pumps out blood.
Yeah.
It pumps out blood. And what is blood? You have oxygen and hemoglobin. You have oxyhemoglobin. So when these chemicals come in contact with oxygen and the hemoglobin, there will be chemical reactions. These reactions will now affect the functioning of the heart, which can cause it to fail. Apart from blocking the valves, when the valves are blocked, blood flow to the heart or out of the heart will be reduced, and that could lead to heart failure. So it's very, very true. The outcome of that research is very, very true, that it can lead to heart failure.
All right. And since we're talking about fruits here, of course, maybe we'll also be looking at other components of food too. Also, another growing concern is that of using drugs such as paracetamol to soften meats in the process of cooking. Is it a healthy practice? Are drugs meant to be used to soften meat to cook them?
No, sir. It's not a healthy practice at all. My pharmacist friend there will talk more about that. But paracetamol or Panadol, whatever, that they are using to soften meat, especially pomo and cow cow head and all those places that they used to prepare and give us to eat as pepper soup. They are hard naturally. But if you cook them for a long time to soften, if you now use these drugs to soften them, every drug that you see has its side effects. Drugs are not natural many of them are not natural products. There are some natural ones, but most of them are synthetic. And so they definitely will soften the meat, but they accumulate in the meat also. That's why even thicken the pepper soup that they are giving to people to eat, make it thicker, and you think it has become richer, but you don't know that it's more toxins that have gathered like that. And this goes into the blood vessels to block them, to occlude them, such that you see the person talking about atherosclerosis. The vessels will be blocked. The blood vessels are like the gutter that through which water and other refuse flow through. When they become blocked, blood cannot flow easily again. And so the brain and other part of the body organs that need the blood will not have them. The nutrients the blood carries will not be there. And so serious problem. So using Panadol or other drugs to soften meat is very, very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, and it disturbs the health. It should be discouraged completely. Even the potash, the kanwa that they use to soften meat also is not good now. This thing, if you put your jogobi on the fire and you apply enough firewood and fire, it will soften naturally. You don't need chemicals. We don't need chemicals. God has provided everything. Nature has provided everything that we need. Use charcoal, use firewood to boil for long.
There are natural tenderizing agents.
That is it.
They can be used.
So why are we using chemicals? Chemicals are dangerous to health.
All right. Now, Moses Ikpe, I will allow you to comment on this aspect too. This softening meat with drugs. It means it's not just fruits that we are facing the challenge. Talk to us about this and what can be done to combat.
This is just a simple understanding and way of reasoning. You see, every chemical subject to a particular condition will change. Just like we talk about dropping water on kaba. Kaba is chemical. When you drop water on it, it reacts with the water.
Yes.
So what did it do? It produced gases and some other
byproduct.
Other byproduct of the kaba. Same thing is paracetamol and other drugs that are used to softening meat. Look at it this way. These drugs that we talk about have their storage condition specified on their package. I've not checked that of paracetamol, but I believe paracetamol in an environment of about 100 degrees Celsius can transform to other chemicals that are harmful to the body.
True.
Your paracetamol at 100 degrees Celsius is no longer paracetamol. Even though if it has dissolved in the water, it is no longer the paracetamol that you have introduced into the water. It has transformed to another product.
Chemical.
It is no longer that thing that you have transformed. And that product that it has transformed to, you do not understand. Some can be harmful, some can be mild harmful, and some cannot be harmful anyway. But it depends on what it is being transformed to. So using paracetamol to soften meat, I don't see it as encouraging at all. It is not. It is not at all. Like we went out last week. We went to one PMS. We saw this guy store drugs that is meant for meningitis on the shelf instead of the fridge. Already it has gone bad. These drugs are very, very, very sensitive
labor.
to temperature. They are very, very, very sensitive to temperature. Once you alter the temperature, they have changed to another thing. So please and please, let us obey nature, just like my colleague has said before.
Now, Dr. Senge,
Yes.
you were talking about the natural tenderizing agents. Let me use your term as a food scientist. Talk to us on those natural ways, so we avoid too much of artificial and chemically introduced aspects in our foods.
Yes, there are natural tenderizers.
Yes.
These are enzymes
Mm.
that you can introduce them to food, meat particularly. They will soften the meat. So you don't necessarily need paracetamol or any other thing. Yes, I do know that some people introduce a nail when they want to
Cook beans.
cook meat.
Meat and beans.
So I don't know the chemistry, but I do know that yes, nail. Oh no, that increases the iron concentration in the.
Okay, nails are naturally iron.
Yes,
Iron.
yes, the iron concentration.
Yes.
You know, so there are natural tenderizers. Some can be gotten from pineapple, some from pawpaw, that can work to soften meat. And that nail of a thing, I do not know the chemistry, but I do know that nail is naturally iron. Maybe it increases the iron concentration, and that affects the tissues of the meat. But I think on the whole, we need to be natural in our ways. That can help us.
All right, dear listener, if you are just tuning in, you've been listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makudi. We are discussing the dangers of ripening fruits with chemicals, and of course, as the discussion is going on, we're introducing other aspects of the dangers of food preservatives and harmful ways of handling our foods as well. We'll take a short breather. Once we are back, we'll start engaging with you. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short breather, and thank you for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makudi. Our conversation on the program is on the dangers of ripening fruits with chemicals. You can reach us on the number 0814-335-9292. Let me take the number once again, 0814-335-9292. Once you connect with us, We would like to know your full name and where you are calling from. Then you make your submission. Please keep it very brief. Send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. That line is also available on WhatsApp. Good morning and thank you for joining us on Perspectives.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Mr. Taina Tewase. I'm calling from Makodi here.
Which part of Makodi are you calling us from?
Okay, I'm calling from my house is somewhere around behind Mega Filling Station here in Makodi.
Thank you, Tewase.
Thank you so much. So my point is, I want to appreciate the participants you have there. They have spoken so well. Ripening of food has honestly been a challenge to us here in Makodi, in Benue State. Like one of the presenters said there, because we want to make fast money, we ripen these fruits, but without understanding and knowing the implication of this to our health. Now, I want to be a little bit specific to what NAFDAC is doing. I remember there was a time they said that there is this Novan. We hear on radios that Novan has been banned, and that's 1 for 100 meals has been banned. The reason is because it's meant for a different use, but people are buying it and making another use of it that is harmful. In fact, some people go ahead to poison themselves with those things. Now, can it be applied to some of these chemicals that are being used for this ripening of these fruits? My point is that let the purchase of these chemicals be banned to people that are not meant to use it for the purpose in which it is meant for, because it's an abuse of chemical to use. Okay, for example, the calcium carbide, which we know is used for some purposes entirely different. Here now, people get access to it and they use it to ripen fruit, which is actually, I'm looking at it from the government perspective. If there's going to be a very strong regulation that will ban the purchase, the sale, and the distribution of these chemicals to unauthorized persons, my question is it possible? Can NAFDA be able to enforce that? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tewas. We appreciate your submission. Thanks for calling in. We'll respond to your question. Thank you. All right, an advocacy for this chemical to be banned so people don't have access to it. We'll address that as we get along. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir.
For joining us.
Thank you, Nata. I salute you again.
Salute you too. Let's know your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Jude Peve. I'm calling from Bakumegwe.
Have you joined us, Jude?
Okay, thank you. Your panelists have done justice to this topic. But I want to give my own contribution. You know, the desire to have money quick. Now, I want to make it now. Greed is what is killing us in this country. Because you know very well that the fruits you are using chemicals to ripe, you are not eating it, but you want to say to other people at the detriment of their head. What really are you trying to get? I think it is greed. So I am calling on people. It also applies to a gift. Some people give gifts because when a particular food that is poison in the house, they will carry it out and give to their own neighbor. It's bad. What you don't like eating, why you be giving out to your neighbor as a gift? So people should be conscious of what they do on this very age. Because on the last day, you are going to give account of yourself. You make money at the detriment of the head of the process. So people should be very, very careful in buying fruits. Those food consumers, when you go to the market, a food that is ripening well may be dangerous to your head. It's tasted. It doesn't look fine. When you just cut a piece of that particular mango to eat, lose all it tastes. I raise my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Jude. We appreciate you for calling in. Although I'm not excusing those who are into this practice, some may be doing it out of ignorance. That is why maybe as we get along, people should get to understand the dangers of this, and those who are practicing it should refrain from it as the experts are giving the insights. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Nathaniel Nongo and the guests in the house.
Morning, welcome.
Okay, my name is Brother Neko. I'm calling from Welfare Quarter.
Right, go ahead, Emeka.
Okay, so I am very, very appreciative of the topic on that discussion this morning. I've learned a lot. And there's another one, I don't know, because I joined the program when you were already 20 minutes into it. There's another one I heard recently, and I think they have cogent proof. They cannot be eat now. It's very shiny, just like one of the discussants said. Very shiny and attractive when the fish are displayed on the shelf. I learned that those are not actually fried active. They just pack the whole. Those ones they sell in commercial quantities to supermarkets. Everything is gathered together, acid is poured, and pieces and fries it and they package it. And so when I heard that, I noticed the difference. The ones fried locally, you will see a little bit of sand in it, and you see the granite, you perceive the granite order from far. So I don't know whether NAFDAC is aware of that. Are you hearing me, sir?
Very well, we are hearing you.
Okay, so I don't know whether NAFDAC is aware of that. Now, also the couple with this one, I learned it from NAFDAC some years ago. I stopped eating frozen fish. Those things are preserved with formaldehyde. Recently, Trump has been talking about trade war with other countries. He was trying to force the Europeans to buy chicken from America. Europeans say no. There's a lot of chemicals in your chicken. And these things are brought down to us. These are some of the things that we eat and we develop these sicknesses that the medical expert, the food nutrition expert has mentioned in the studio. And last but not the least, these are genetically modified organisms that shortens the lifespan of crops. Crop that is supposed to grow for 9 months is shortened down to 3 months. Those things are also contributing because the Almighty who created this thing to stay in the ground for 9 months, he knows what he's doing. But within that 9 months, the tap root will go down and extract the minerals that will form the food we are going to eat. So when you shorten it now, the minerals are lacking. What you have is just the fiber using the technical test. So people are eating, their stomach is full, but there is no nutrient to actually nourish the body. And at the end of it, the body collapses. So I hope the NAFDAC will take this holistic approach to most of this, not just like you mentioned the issue of chemicals used for apple, paracetamol.
Okay, thank you, Emeka. We appreciate your calling in. Thanks for your submission. Well, another one allegation we are getting to hear from Emeka, frying groundnut with acid. Anyway, well, that's really strange to hear. It could be an allegation, but maybe NAFDAC would comment on that. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Perspective.
My name is Sunday Ochiu, calling from Dupe in Makodi.
Thank you, Sunday Ochiu.
Yeah. I salute the courage of the discussants there that they have explained everything into it for us to learn. And where I want to come in is that they are speak so much. But one thing that I witness and I know that I have seen is this processing of gari and akpu. Do you know that now people are using hypo to wash gari so that it will be very whitening, and akpu when they want to process it to the market, not knowing the danger that attached to it. So I'm calling on NAFDAC and anyway, go like Nathaniel just said, some people are ignorant of what they are doing. They don't know. They only see that when they use it, they will become white and whitish, and then it will be attract customers, forgetting about the danger of it. So I'm calling on government to use, like you are doing now, social media or town hall meeting or town crier in the village, so that NAFDAC will also collaborate with them to let them know the danger of what they are using. Because what I'm telling you now is not hearsay evidence. They are using hypo to wash gari and hypo to wash apple so that it will be whitened. And it's so dangerous to health. So that is my own sincere appeal. Thank you.
Sunday Ochi, we appreciate you for calling in. Thanks. 0814-335-9292. Let's hear from you, concerning what we are discussing. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. This is
Joining us.
Kwaza Vincent calling from North Bank, Makode.
Good to have you join us, Kwaza Vincent.
Yes. I greet the guests in the studio.
Go on, Kwaza.
I want to ask this question. This is a method of ripening food that sometimes they will cut unripe mango. They will put it on the sun for a long time. Then they will cover it with a leaf for a long time. Then it ripens. Does that one have any effect on human beings? And then another one is this banana that we eat. Most these people ripen it with carbide. They use carbide and then ripen this fruit. So doesn't have any this machine that they'll be going around test this fruit that people ripen to test to know whether this one is used dangerous chemical to ripen this fruit so that the fruit will be destroyed.
Kwaza,
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We'll respond to you.
All right.
Okay. Kwaza wants NAFDAC to get a machine to be testing this thing. Who explores the possibility of doing so. Hello, good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, Mr. Nathaniel.
Thank you.
I'm Lupe Daniel calling from High Level.
Thank you, Lupe.
Yes, my perspective this morning is I am seriously disappointed on the part of government because all these things are happening as a result of citizens seem not to have capable guidance, and it is a clear sign of disorder and neglect on the part of government, which is contributing to the decline in our safety and of citizens and causing increase in more crime in the society. The NAFDAC, they are not orientation agencies. They are there to enforce the law and protect the government, to protect the citizens. But I wonder why they turn to be appealing to criminals instead of them telling us how many people that have been prosecuted as a result of things that are happening. They will come out there. It's a big disappointment, and I'm calling on them to stand up to their responsibility and do their work and allow the National Orientation Agency to do the work of orientation. That is what is called deterrence measures. By the time 2 to 3 people are being prosecuted, some of these things will be reduced because human being is naturally wicked and lazy. And that is why we have agencies like NAFDAC. In those days, we have people that were called Dubageri under Benue State Environmental Sanitation Agency. But you don't see them around. All they need is to go out there and begin to beg criminals to desist from their criminal act. They are benefiting from that. So I'm calling on them to
thank you, Ezra Lupe. Thanks for making your points.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, to be fair to government, the government should not tell citizens about somebody. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
My name is Igbayima Akura, a regional representative from Vonku, Batiagbo local government.
Good to have you, Igbayima.
Thank you. I want to thank this particular radio station and you, Nathan, for the sensitization. It's a good way to go. Continue in that direction. To me, I take it upon myself. At times, I do discourage those that are within my home not to use some detergent when using Aku in that way. Because I do tell them that as you are using this detergent on clothes and the way the cloth is fading, that is how it will be harmful to the humans too. So to conclude, I want to ask this question. Using ashes, that is blown to ripe this fruit, it is a good way to go or not? And secondly, using same, I don't know the name of same in English language, to cook. At times using this bomb, is it a good way to go? Thank you. That's my 2 questions. We'll
respond to you. I think same is potash. I'm not too sure, but I think that is it. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, my brother in the control.
Welcome.
This engineer Abraham Kingu. I'm calling you from Makodi here. From
Tengu, which part of Makodi?
Kanshu.
Go ahead.
I thank you so much for this program, because those are the way that some of us will know that some things we are doing are wrong. For me, when I noticed that this banana we are eating, using gas to prevent it to make it last, I take banana again, because I like banana, but I don't take it. So I know that gas will not be okay in the food to eat. So I'm appealing to people. Some people are doing this because they don't understand the effect that is there. So they should please, as they know now, they stop using this. Or we continue telling some people that don't know to know that this thing is dangerous to our health. That is the only way. Because
Tengu, are you there?
yeah.
Conclude your thought.
It's not everything that government will do for us. Some things for ourselves doing it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tengu. I appreciate you for calling in. Tengu is saying he's scared of eating banana. Of course, I confess that I am too, because when you have fresh fruits and you want to take them for nutritional value and health benefits, it's dangerous. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning. I want to appreciate your guest there in the studio for the enlightenment.
Let's know your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Comrade Adai. I'm calling from Adoka.
Dai Egege.
Adai Egege. I'm calling from Adoka.
Okay, Adoka, that's in Otukpo local government, right?
Yes. On the edges of Makodinaka Road.
Adai, go ahead. We're listening to you.
What we consume these days is chemicals, because it ranges from fruits to even all these agri-fowls and fish. Because one can hardly understand, especially agri-fowls and fish, what kind of chemical that is given to them that you keep agri-fowl within 2-3 months, it had grown for consumption, which is very, very dangerous. So that most of the inmates who having this time around is unidentifiable. We can't identify exactly what is around us now, in terms of diseases or ailments, or so to say. See, so that I want to urge NAFDAC, those people that breed fish or breed agri-fowls, the kind of chemical that is used for them that enable their fattening, that has to be verified by NAFDAC, where those chemicals are produced from. If it will have any adverse effect on the health of human beings, then we will know. Because what we have in the market is like this fruits, banana. If banana is allowed to mature while standing, when you cut it, even if you put it like that, within 4-5 days it will ripe. But if it is not mature, then they use other means to make sure that to ripen it. See, these are the causes of most of the ailments given the society today: cancer, diabetes, and what have you. You see, so all these things that we consume, the area that they are produced from, needs to be closely monitored. What we consume by NAFDAC, that they monitor these drugs that we take, all these chemical-induced consumables. The chemicals used need to be verified by NAFTA. In case of having any side effects or on the health.
Thank you. Your point is noted. We appreciate you for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay, NAFTA, a lot of work you have got to do. Yeah, that's why you are employed and paid for the job. Nigerians want you to do the job. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Yosendo Oshi. I'm currently here in Asukunya, a man from here in the Boko local government area.
Okay, Oshi, go ahead.
Yeah, my contribution is first of all, we appreciate NAFDAC for their own work, and I will appreciate government for taking care of us so much. And to me, directly to my villagers, you know, the way that we are using to preserve our food now, it is not good, very well, because how can a person we carry all those kind of, I don't know how we put in apple in order to make it to become food. And those who they are working for NAFDAC, supervising their food for these our villages. Most of them used to participate here with us, but they do not like to take care of all those things. When you give them a little money, they will correct that is bribe. They will correct and forgive the person who do such a thing. So let them help government. Government is trying very well. Let them help government in order to fish us out of that all those problems in order to avoid ourselves to be in a very good way. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Sandy, for calling in. We're still. Okay.
Then we also need to have volunteers.
Hello, good morning.
Among the community.
Hello.
Volunteers that will be reporting.
Okay, you're still listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM Bakwiti. The line to reach us on the program is 0814-335-9292. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir. You speak with Dr. Isaac from Goma, Anchiha Segment.
So go ahead.
All right. You know, one of the best methods of fruit ripening is when it ripens on its tree. However, we need improved services of NAFDAC and a tester to ensure safe ripening of fruit for consumption. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. We appreciate you for calling in. 0814-335-9292. The line is still available. If you're not able to connect to the call line, send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. Let's also hear from those who are selling fruits, if they have been doing this and if they know what they are doing or they have learned something from here. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Hello.
Morning. Hello, good morning. You are on. Speak to us.
Yes, we are on to Mr. Panic. I'm telling you that the Arista Thomas Control Malomba Sada
The network in Balomba Batada seems to be a bit unstable. Maybe you want to change your position so that we hear you well.
Sorry. On this issue,
I'm afraid, Tave, we may have to disconnect with you if the network does not improve at your end. Oh, quite unfortunate. We lost connection with you. But the line is available, Tave, if you are able to connect back or send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. We're really interested to hear from everyone, especially those at the grassroots who may be doing this practice unknowingly. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
My brother, good morning.
Joining us.
Thank you so much. Is our fatherland there?
You're peaceful.
That's great. Thank God for that. That's our prayer. That's our prayer. This is Ode calling.
Ode? Let's. Yes. Where are you reaching us from?
I'm calling from Use, right here in Zone 4.
Good to have you here, Ode.
We have a little challenge in our hands. And the major challenge you have is standard regulating agency. It's a part of
Hello, Ode. Maybe you want the network seems to be unstable where you are, maybe.
I'm clear. I hear me. I mean, right.
Very well, very well.
I say the standard regulating agencies in Nigeria. It's a part of their responsibility. They are supposed to look at the food, approve it before the consumption, collaborating with the NAFTA to ensure that things work out well. But where is their job? Are they defining their job well? Are they defending the citizens well? Where is the standard regulation agencies today? Can we hear about them in our community, in our rural environment, even in the city? So there are so many things that we begin to see. Not that government did not have these agencies available. They are all available there. But the issue there is that they are lazy in not carry out their duty. And I want to appreciate you for bringing them into the book and then having a talk like this so that we can be able to hear. A lot of things are discussing more problem than the drugs that we are consuming. This fruit has causing more harms than some of the drugs that we are consuming. Today, you cannot import our crops outside the country than here. So many of our fruits, you cannot import them because the agencies there are working, especially the standard regulation agencies are working. Just within the West African region, sir, the standards of their agencies are working, but our own here are not working. So what then do we need to do until we begin to press on the way we are pressing on, keep talking and then. So I'm calling on government that they should wake up to their responsibility. It's not only in Benue State, it's a global phenomenon within the country right away now. So I'm calling on the regulation agencies to wake up to their responsibility and deliver Nigeria out of this. There are so many people who have gone to untimely death because of this kind of, preservations of our. What are chemical we are using in our farms today? Do you see how we are using all these habitats? How do they go about using it? No anybody is regulating them. Then you now move that again. Do you know that in our health sector and we have environmental people or whatever you could call them who are going around meeting one or two things, and they are so part of all those things. And these are agencies that government has establishes around. In those days, our father cooked raw food, we eat and then live long. But today, our vegetables are being contaminated with chemicals. Our crop, there is no crops in Nigeria today that we are consuming that has no sense of one or two chemicals than them. So we have a lot of things on our hand today. So my submission is that please, let the relevant authorities who are being given this opportunity wake up to their responsibility and do what is given to them to do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for calling in, Odele. Thanks for your position. The relevant authorities should work up to their responsibility. And of course, as we talk about the authorities, let's also get people who are into this practice, the citizens on their own part, to help the authorities, help the government, help us, the citizens and the public too. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Attorney.
Thank you. You are on, but your voice is not coming too clearly.
This is Mr. Desmond. I'm here in Makode, Market.
Desmond who? Desmond, maybe you still want to change your position. Maybe the network will improve for us to get you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Very well. Let's know your full name, Desmond, and where you're calling from.
Desmond Nambo. I'm calling from International Market.
Good.
Here in Makode.
On Desmond.
This one is pretty interesting and containing the food that we're eating now. We know that we are the producer of the food, but why is it that people are so ignorant of applying so many things on the food? Like you add quick when the food is not doing it. So I think that's an ignorance, not that they deliberately know it and they want to do it. They don't know it. So it's good as this topic came up for them to learn. If they are doing it ignorant, they should learn that it's not good to at least apply such things on food that somebody, human being, can consume it. The implication, we don't know. We just went and applied to it. And people are having sickness that even doctors are not even contained. And I think this is the result of such things that brought up this. And there's one thing I come across. There's one factory that they produces water, pure water. And the person's big way, not boho, way, connected the engine and was already producing this thing, pure water for us to take, this purchase water. And that registration number was there on the pure water. So is it that NAFDAC go and confirm the place that the man is working and is worthy of doing the factory or no? I don't know. But those are the cases. You have your work, you have to be done to preserve the life of humanity in this world, but they are not doing it. So they are also advising them, we are advising them not to step out on their work They are not doing their job, and it's not right. They are there for us, and we are here for them. So
All right.
at
Thank
least
you,
they should help
Desmond.
us and do their work.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your position. We appreciate you for calling in. A few more calls and then we'll come back to the studio. The line is 0814-335-9292 and the SMS line is also available 0912-699-9404. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. My name is Kyo Chivi.
Chivi, where are you reaching us from?
I'm from Gado Villa, Makwadi.
All right.
Yes, I'm very, very interested in this topic because I'm a driver. We used to carry mangoes from Benue State to other states. And whenever we are in the bush to load this orange, I used to feel very, very bad because these people will pack this carbide, put it in the heap of mango. Within 2 days, the whole thing, this premature mango will change to a different thing. So I have been advising these people, but they refuse to listen to my advice. So I am people there in the house to take actions over this issue because we have discovered that these things are very, very harmful. I don't even eat their mangoes. Hello?
On, Tio.
Yes. I don't even eat the mangoes whenever I'm in the bush to load. So these people, they don't know what they are doing. Their own is just to get their money. So they need to be advised more than my own level because they look at me as a driver. So whenever we are discussing, they feel that I don't know what I'm doing. So thank you so much for this program. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thanks for sharing that first-hand experience with us.
Yes.
All right. Here we have a practical case. Of course, the panelists here on the program shared their experiences too, and here is a driver who is also bringing us real-time information of what is happening. And we hope those who are into this practice should be discouraged. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, Emeka Anyog from North Bank.
Emeka Anyog, thank you.
Yes, you see, like NAFDAC may be saying they are the regulatory bodies for all these issues. And when you look at Nigeria today, we have a lot of problems. I don't know whether because there are no mobilities, maybe because they are not having any working equipment to get these people apprehended. Typical example is this alefo or green that they plant at the riverside. If you have gone there, green that's supposed to stay 1 month, it's only 2 weeks. You see it already for use. And people will be buying it. What are the chemicals used on those places? Why don't NAFDAC go to those places and check what is happening? And when you consume it, you think that you are eating vegetable. You don't know that you are eating dirt. You come to all these agric fowl. Those days, agric fowls are not being, they doesn't train them the way we are seeing them today. But within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you see them mature for people to buy. People start buying and selling it in the market, selling it in the hotel. People will consume. You come again, you look at it, so many things like these mangoes, pineapples, you see bananas, everything use carbides. And now we have NAFDAC. What are they doing as people? Don't they see? Will we say maybe corruption have taken over? Or what is the problem? It's just like sometimes we cry about security people that at the checking point, you will see before checking point, robbers will be there, kidnappers will be there.
Emeka, thank you. We appreciate you. Let's stay on our conversation and just conclude. Thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate you. Of course, so many issues, but let's limit it to what we are discussing. And let's pause on the calls temporarily and come back to several concerns raised. And many of them, NAFDAC. Maybe we didn't commit any injustice by bringing bringing NAFDAC on the program, because we wanted the heat to be on NAFDAC so that they would wake up and do their job. Let's begin with Teima Tewase from Mega Station. He was making a case. Is it not high time NAFDAC get these chemicals banned? Mr. Ekpe.
Yeah, actually, if you go online and Google NAFDAC website, you discover that there are some list of banned chemicals. Those chemicals that are on the list of banned chemicals were once used some years back. But when it was discovered that the negative effect on humanity outweigh the benefits, the government had no choice than to ban them. So I don't see using kaba as being different from other banned chemicals. If the society and government today decide that, using kaba, the effect of carbide on ripening of fruits is more negative than that of the profit, it can go on the list of banned chemicals, and so be it. So by way of saying, can NAFDAC ban the use of kaba? I say yes, it's possible. If NAFDAC put a report today and sent to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly sit on it and consider it as, a law. It can go. It can go on the list of chemicals that are banned, and people will stop using it.
Why have you not done so all this while? The Senate, just last week, they raised a concern on this and moving to criminalize this practice of using chemicals.
Which is a move.
And they have invited your DG.
Towards banning it.
All right.
Which is a move towards banning it. Like I said before, chemicals that are banned today were once in use, that kind of a thing. But today they are banned. It is when the effect becomes so enormous that they go on that list. So now we are looking at the effect of kaba on the society as being, so serious. So we can go on the list of banned chemicals. That is that on banning of calcium carbide and even other chemicals that are used in ripening fruits. That's my take on it.
All right. Emeka Oji also alleged that they're using acid to fry groundnut. Our roasted groundnut that we eat is also becoming a threat, as alleged by Emeka Oji. Is NAFDAC aware of this?
I think this is the second time I'm hearing it. I was on my way.
Yes.
I was on my way to Abuja. So we got to Gudi. I wanted to buy groundnut. So somebody in the vehicle was telling me that, there are some groundnut that are fried using acid. In fact, that was the first time I heard of it. I was like, how did they do it? Mm-hmm. The man now went explaining to me that they peel it, put it together, and then put acid on top of it. He even showed me a video like that, which I, pass on the platform or other NAFDAC staff for them to take a look at it. And this is the second time I'm hearing of it. But there is one challenge here. Like I said before, security, police, or naturally security agencies will tell you security is business of everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not just about security of humanity. It is also, applicable onto security of food. Security of food is everybody's business. These things are done in houses. You understand, where NAFDAC staffs are not there. Unlike the nature of the work which we do, they are classified. You have regulated product and unregulated product. Regulated product is the one we lay our emphasis much on it. How are they classified as regulated product? They are regulated product. Why? Because they have come to NAFDAC to seek registration. Those that are processed, like food. You have processed food. Foods that are processed in companies, food that are processed even out in kitchen, but you want registration with NAFDAC, you come to us. We give you the details on how you can get your license. And one of the key details that will make us to give you license is that on on your food, on your product, you have the basic required informations of your product. If you pick any food product and look at it, we emphasize the composition of that food. Anybody picking that food, we have an idea that this food contains this not. It goes down to even the level of peanut, where you are buying peanut in bottle, they are telling you that this peanut contains granite, it contains flour, and the rest of other components, salt, and the rest of them. This is the emphasis, and these products are categorized as regulatory product. And like I said before, you go to the market and pick akpu, you can't, without the way of chemical analysis in the laboratory, get to differentiate that this one was prepared using hypo and the other one not prepared using hypo. It is only by way of chemical analysis in the laboratory. And it is very, very difficult again that you have no information that such a product is being contaminated. You just walk into the market and attack someone. You know, someone can take you to court, except it is taken to the lab and proven that yes, this contains this, that you have a case. Or else just looking at this like this, it has no information on it at all. So what do you do? So this makes it a business of us all. You see someone preparing akpu or flying granite using acid, come to us. You can even take a snapshot of whatever he or she is doing and report, and we can use that against him. We can even sue such a person to court. This is how we operate. We don't just look at a food product by way of physical appearance and say this one is condemned, this one is not condemned. No, we don't do that.
All right. Anyway, you are getting to hear citizens talk about this again and again, like this roasted granite issue. I think it's high time NAFDAC should investigate it and take samples.
We'll do that. We'll do the investigation.
All right. Now, Dr. Sengev, Kwaza Vincent, maybe he joined us in the course of the program, but he was wondering whether fruits that are ripened, you pluck, put together, pour ashes on them under the sun, whether it's a healthy process. Right, if I got his question correctly. Dr. Sengev.
Yes, I think I noted that somewhere. You see, ashes are natural. Isn't it? In my earlier presentation, I said my mother could get mangoes, maybe put in ashes in a pot and cover to raise the temperature to induce fermentation. Ripening. Isn't it? Yeah. These are natural products, isn't it? And so pouring ashes and putting in the sun, isn't it? It's just a way of raising the temperature to induce fermentation. And you know, ash, if you look at the composition of ash has about 7 to 33% calcium. And we are talking of calcium carbide, isn't it? So maybe that calcium
which
also
is a processed one, maybe
yes,
refined.
Carbide is not there.
So that is not a problem, isn't it?
So ripening, I think Kwaza and Igba Imakura had the same issue of ashes. Kwaza ripening under the sun is not a problem. Now ashes,
it's not.
The food scientist is saying it's not a problem.
It's
so
not
feel
a
free.
problem.
You can do that to get your fruits ripened. Now, Dr. Abba.
Yes, sir.
It's quite concerning that we hear acid. Just the mere name of acid, people think of how dangerous it is. Tell us the health implications of having to consume a food that maybe is handled with acid applied on it. But just before you do that, a brief engagement here. Good morning.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, Nathan here. This is John Dovejan from Akwa, local government company.
Very good to have you here.
Yes, thank you. Yes, truly, you are the voice of the people. Because
very much.
This issue, yes, has been going down with a lot of people. You know, most people now are more concerned in such products, and it is very bad because there are issues where people like palm oil, people we mix what is called garo in it to make it ready and all that. It's very, we know that they don't consume garo,
By then, why mix it in oil that we are going to consume? Only that it's already enough, and so we admire it and then buy it without knowing that Garo is being mixed. So the truth of the matter is that we that see these things happen, we should try our best to. Hello?
You are on. Conclude your thoughts. Don't do
Yes, those of us that see all these things happen to report to the necessary authorities so that something must be done about it, because now that cannot be everywhere. Thank you. God bless you.
We appreciate you, Donovan. And that will be the last call we'll take on the program today. Dr. Abba, you are about to speak to us about the dangers associated with consuming food that has been touched with acid, as alleged by a caller.
Thank you very much, sir, for that question. In fact, before you asked me that question, I was wondering. I say acid for roasting granite, how possible? I was just thinking about it. Acids are very, very corrosive. They burn. And granite is an organic product. If you pour acid on granite, will it not burn it? Will it not char it? Will anything be left? Because I have worked with acid several times, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, glacial acetic acid, all kind of acid, I have worked with them. And I know how corrosive they are. We protect ourselves very well before we can handle this acid. In fact, before you open it, you cover your nose, you cover your face, because of the fume that will come out of it. So as we have discussed this here today, when I go home, I'm going to practicalize it. I'm going to put granite on the ground and pour acid on it and see what will happen. I think that it will burn, it will be charred. And again, every economic activity is done for profit. Acids are very expensive. I believe more expensive than granite itself.
Exactly.
And you are now pouring acid you go and buy acid that is very expensive and use it to fry granite. Is it that you pour it on sand and cover the granite with the sand, or how is it done? Acid again is flammable. The fry pan is on the fire, it will burn, it will char the granite. But if that is possible at all, then it's going to be very, very dangerous. Because as it touch any part of your body, it will burn. Yeah. And then you are talking about consuming it. No matter how small it is, naturally the stomach has acid. It has enough acid. Hydrochloric acid, gastric juice, they are there in the stomach. And then you are now increasing the quantity again with the food. That person will come down with serious burns. This thing, ulcer. Ulcer is kind of source in any part of the organ. And then when somebody have ulcers, there is excessive production of acid. And then you take what is called antacid to reduce the acidity so that you will not have too much problem in your GIT. And then you are now increasing the acid content of the stomach again. That would be deadly. So it's not good. People should not indulge into such activity.
All right, let's take some messages we have coming in here, and then we'll draw concluding thoughts. Good morning, presenter and your guest. I'm Kanti Michael from Gadovilla. Nathaniel, all these are caused by poverty in Nigeria today, and these fruits and apple are mostly coming from our various villages because they have needs that needed to be attended to urgently, and ripening of the available fruits is the only means to get money needed to attend to that urgent need. If government can reduce the suffering people are going through, I believe all this will be reduced. Thank you. Okay, Michael, that's your opinion. Anyway, Gabi Tenenge on our live stream feed here says, Doctor told us about the climacteric fruits, but he didn't mention about the non-climacteric fruits. Okay, Dr. Sengev,
yes.
Let me have you respond to the Gabi here, and that should be briefly in 30 seconds. He said you told us about climacteric fruits, but you didn't mention about the non-climacteric fruits.
Well, thank you. Maybe he joined the program when I had already said that. I said non-climacteric fruits
Yes.
don't ripen after harvest. They don't undergo ripening after harvest. You have fruits like citrus, you have oranges, you have cucumber. The moment you harvest them, they don't undergo ripening again. So they are allowed to mature and ripe on the tree for harvest.
All right. And you were also
Yes,
wishing to
yes,
chip in
I
a
was
word
going
on
to
this
say that.
issue of acid.
Yes, I was going
Briefly.
to say that.
Yes.
If you have read chemistry at all,
The food chemistry.
no, chemistry in
Okay,
general.
chemistry in general.
Any acid, formula for acid, you have an H, a H.
Yeah.
Yes.
H. If you go to water, there's H also in water.
HO2.
Yes.
At
And we
least I
consume, we
remember
take,
that in my
yes, we take water,
elementary
isn't it? And when I was doing my IT, during boiling of oats, the grains, sulfuric acid was introduced. Even formaldehyde was also introduced during the boiling, isn't it? But let us also know that once you introduce this thing, they go into reaction. And what you have at the end of the day will not be the acid again. Will not be the acid again. Yes, if people are using acid to roast granite, you know, acid burn. Conch acid, concentrated acid.
Yeah.
If you pour it here, it will burn this
wood.
This wood. So I think the only thing we can do is to strengthen our regulatory procedures.
All right. We do not have time again. Mr. Ekpe, I will give you just 10 seconds to give your parting words.
Actually, as we can take from the society, it shows that NAFDAC have a lot to do. But the challenge we are having in the state is that we have just one vehicle in the state. Like the other time we came on radio, same place here, I made an appeal to the governor. We really appreciate what he has done to us through the Commissioner of Lands and Survey, the present Commissioner of Lands and Survey. He has given us a piece of land the day they handed over the land to us.
You have access to governor to tell you that. Let's conclude on our program today.
Right.
If he has provided land, I was wondering how your coverage, the coverage of the entire state, but you are still talking about the same challenge of one vehicle. You are a federal agency. The federal government should be taking care of you to take care of Nigerians. So if you have one vehicle, then it's cause for concern, right?
Yeah.
But just conclude on our topic briefly.
Okay. My appeal to the public is that actually we cannot be everywhere, just like one of our contributors said. Please, any information you have on such challenges that we are talking about today, please reach out to us in a form of complaint. Our website is open 24 hours for complaint. You can go online and lodge complaint. We get your complaint online and attend to it immediately. We have attended to one like that in Otukpo. A complaint came to us from Abuja. The man lodged a complaint to Abuja Direct about some few water factories in Otukpo that they are particulated. So we swung into action. I was the one that led the team, particularly we went to Otukpo and do the investigation. Somehow we caught them, and what we did was try to see how they can raise kappa. Kappa simply means you have identified a problem, and what you do is you take a step to make corrections.
Correct.
All right.
So they raised kappa, and they have done their corrections already, and we have gone to restore their production, that kind of a thing, to ensure. We even pick sample from their companies and send to the lab for laboratory analysis to confirm actually the status of their product before we give them the go ahead.
Okay, let me allow you to land on that. And Dr. Oba,
Yes,
just chip in 10 seconds of concluding thoughts on this, re-emphasizing these dangers and the need for the public to stay away from this practice.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to say that we are what we eat. And you don't just eat food, you eat for the health benefit of food. So before you eat anything fruit, please be sure that they are good fruits. Be sure that they are from right sources. It's better not to eat fruit at all than to eat fruit that are contaminated with all kinds of chemicals, because they will give you more trouble instead of giving you a health benefit. So let's be sure that we eat good fruit if we must eat fruit at all. Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Senge, I won't give you parting words anymore because we're totally out of time. Let me appreciate Moses Ikbe, Chief Regulatory Officer, NAFDAC, Benue State Office, and he's the second in command of that agency. Dr. Paul Abba is the Chairman, Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, Benue State Branch. And Dr. Yofat Sengev is an Associate Professor of Food Science and Technology, Department of Food Science and Technology at the Joseph Sawantaka University, Makurdi. They joined us here on this edition of Perspectives, which will discuss the dangers of ripening fruits with chemicals. Gentlemen, I thank you very much for your valuable insights on the program. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
All right, dear listener, that's our program today. It is because we care so much about your health that we have chosen this subject to focus on, sensitize you. If you are doing it out of ignorance, please stay away from it. Be sure of the sources of your fruit so that we don't endanger the health of the public. My name is Nathaniel. Now, have yourself a great week ahead, and please join us on Wednesday for a fresh edition of Perspectives. Goodbye.